Getting into chapter 161 and 162 of Chainsaw Man, the latter called Chainsaw Man Puzzle, we have probably the most hilarious chapters ever as the perfect sequence of events take place. That being the several people who don't know that Denji is Chainsaw Man finally discover his true identity, and this just leads to some entertaining scenes, so be sure to stick around for that. The chapter begins with the doctors finishing up cleaning after the dissection, and one of them tells them all to take 5 since there are intruders in the most unfazed and calm fashion. Suddenly, the door bursts open, spilling boxes everywhere across the room, and Katana Man screams for everyone to get down, just like he's robbing a bank, and the doctors are mildly surprised while Fami states that Chainsaw Man should be here. Yoru threatens them, asking where Chainsaw Man is, and the lead doctor just sighs before pointing to the pile of boxes that they knocked over earlier, which contain all the separated body parts of Denji. Yoru just looks confused, but the doctor confirms that they had dissected him and demand an apology for causing such a mess, to which Nobana meekly apologizes, and then Yoru stares at the boxes and decides to kick it open, revealing a dismembered hand from inside. Realizing the truth, she orders everyone to start connecting the body parts, and everyone is initially hesitant but are eventually persuaded. They then open the rest of the boxes and start lining up his body parts like some weird, gross puzzle. Nobana finds his heart attached with a cord, and Haruka looks at it in amazement. Yoru then states that now they have the heart, they can start stitching his body parts back together by starting the engine. The doctor then mocks Yoru for not helping, who just responds that she's wounded, deflecting to Katana Man, who is also not helping and calling the chore for kids. The group continues to marvel at the body parts, and even Saigi finds Denji's wiener, to which Katana Man jokes that they should shove it up his ass, but unfortunately Yoru says no.
Yo, come on, man, I can't have shit in this house!
The reason is because she wants Chainsaw Man to be in perfect condition for when she fights him, otherwise it will just be meaningless, and Katana Man just tells her she has no game. But Yoru continues, saying that she doesn't need game, all love does is turn you foolish, and the Nail Fiend just calmly replies that she's too young to understand, and Yoru/Asa gets defensive though, making the Nail Fiend call her an immature devil. Suddenly, Nobana falls to the floor screaming that he's found a head in a box, and Haruka immediately rushes in, excited to see Chainsaw Man's true form. However, as soon as he sees its face, he stops short. He's initially confused, asking if that is really Chainsaw Man's head, and the doctor calmly replies with a coffee in hand that there's no doubt about it. He's stunned at the revelation, and Yoru/Asa tells him it doesn't matter what he looks like and to just get on with it. But Haruka just calls out Asa's name and shows her the head that is in the box, asking her, isn't this her boyfriend? And this is where we see Denji's head slumped at the bottom of the box.
Oh my god.
Asa just stares at the head, and as her Yoru scars slowly disappear, she realizes exactly who's in the box, and then her jaw drops to the floor. But before she can react, the door to the operating room bursts open to everyone's surprise, and 2 figures emerge from the other side. Katana Man and the Nail Fiend realize who it is, and it turns out to be the Special Division officer, who then gives the order to the second figure to kill everyone. And this person then steps forward and has revealed that it is indeed Quanxi. And the chapter ends there as she mumbles an agreement, staring at the group trying to put Denji back together. But before we get into the rest of the chapter, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps my small channel grow. Also, I've made a Patreon and it's in the description below. Support me if you'd like. But getting straight into the next chapter called Fearsome, it starts off with the standoff between Quanxi's group and Asa's group. The Nail Devil suddenly starts to beg Quanxi not to kill them and also compliments her, but this is just a ruse as they flip up some nails while Katana Man rushes forward. Nail hits them towards Quanxi, who deflects them easily at the same time as parrying Katana Man's attack and slicing off his head, reminding us that Quanxi is still someone to not get on the bad side of. Haruka drops the box with Denji's head and it rolls on the floor as Yoru picks up a scalpel, turning it into a sword. They rush forward and Quanxi defends against their attacks while also counterattacking. Quanxi suddenly kicks Asa, sending her flying into the wall and stabs Nail multiple times, the blood from which lands on Nobana, who screams bloody murder, though Quanxi just steps towards him and goes to strike. However, she stops short since Nobana has held up Denji's head to protect himself, and she goes completely quiet at the sight of Chainsaw Man, and Nobana, realizing he's carrying a dismembered head, screams out again and drops it. The special division officer is angry now, telling her to get on with it, but Quanxi just states that she was told by an old friend not to make an enemy out of Chainsaw Man, and he's just stunned and rubs his head in frustration because no one is listening to him. He reminds them that their lovers' bodies are stored in the public safety department, threatening that they can get rid of their bodies instead, and everyone is silent, and he sighs, trying to explain one more thing, and starts to probably say something incredibly sexist before suddenly his own wife, now turned into a pseudo chainsaw person, slices through his chest, and he lets out a scream before dying. Nail comments that Katana Man must have cut through the door earlier. The body of the man drops to the floor, and now his wife, who jumps on top, starts to eat him, and Quanxi seems relieved at the events that took place, but out of the blue asks everyone to kill her and she'll pretend to have lost. They're all surprised at this sudden request, but she reminds them that she's like Chainsaw Man and that she won't actually die, and hilariously even the doctors standing there idly by look at each other and agree that they didn't see anything. Asa obliges but asks Quanxi if she'd lose against Chainsaw Man, and she just responds, "Nah, I'd win." Okay, well, she didn't exactly say this, but I swear now it sounds just like it. In a lot of manga, it sounds like they're trying to recreate or emulate that panel from JJK, first One Punch Man, and now this scene. To be fair though, what she actually says is that Chainsaw Man is weaker than her, but he's far more fearsome than her. And you can see where I'd find it impossible not to make that joke. She then prepares her swing and brings it down, but the chapter ends there with the last panel showing an outside view of the detention center. And with the chapter over, I have to say this has been one of the best chapters we've had so far. A lot of gruesome comedy with Denji's body parts, and that's just one of the points where I believe Chainsaw Man shines at its best. Also, the fact that everyone is semi on his side is a great turn of events that allowed Denji to be able to escape from the facility. However, I wonder how he's going to deal with the fact that lots of people who rescued him now want to fight him. But I'm sure he'll cross that bridge when he comes to it. It's now coming to the end of the video, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy you stopped by. My channel is steadily growing and I'm amazed at the support I'm getting. And I also have a Patreon now, so feel free to support me however you like. The link will be in the description, and I will shout out names at the end of each video. Thank you again, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.